It'll be one to go this time by. Coming to the green, buddy, coming to the green. Let's go get him. Go, 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 go.
Get your motor running. Head out on the highway.
Smith, Ryan, David Newton. Go, Marty.
There we go. That was really funny, the wine thing.
It wasn't a joke.
I know, but that's probably why it was so funny. I know you got every time we ask you, you or any other driver, if you tried harder, you laugh at us because you try the same every week. But on that last run last Saturday night, you seemed just like doggedly determined to maintain the lead. Was it a track position decision, or was it more I have to seize the moment now decision?
Well, I think it was both. I mean, I certainly, we do always try hard, and well, I do. I mean, but you know, there is a difference in how you drive on lap 10 and how you drive on lap 200. That difference, I don't think, should be real big, but there is a little bit of difference. You know, and where we are and the things we're trying to accomplish, and you know, it was time to go for it. I mean, it was time to lay it on the line and see what happened, and whatever the result was, it was going to be. And so, you know, my willingness to, you know, I wasn't going to wreck Jimmy or anything like that, but my willingness to hang it out as far as I thought I could possibly hang it out was certainly there, because, you know, if I'd have come off turn 4 and spun out, what the hell? You know, it was time to go. And, you know, we're not racing to be afraid to lose something. We're racing something to try to gain it. And, you know, I think that showed. You know, obviously, you know, track position was big. The call was 100% the right thing to do. You know, lost in the shuffle is that we did pass for the lead. We came on pit road with the lead, you know. And, you know, I'm proud of that. We were able to take the lead away from a really good, you know, the 16 car is a really strong car. We were able to take the lead from those guys, come on pit road, hold serve, make a great call, and then ultimately win through our car was really good, and you know, so you know, things worked out for us. But you know, certainly you're where we are, we're willing to put the risk level out there a little more than we would have been. Not a lot, but a little bit.
Okay, we'll go Ryan, David Newton, and then Chris.
Jeff, Talladega, of course, considered the wild card race to the chase. This for a completely different reason. As a chaser, what is the scariest part of Martinsville as far as, you know, trying to stay in this thing? Well,
a couple things. It's you know, there's a lot of mechanical problems here. If you go back and look through history, a lot of rear end gears are broken here. A lot of people have brakes. A lot of people have transmission problems, but more rear gear problems, engine problems because of the low RPM to the high RPM, how many times you do that. That's very hard on the engine. And then just quite simply the race. I mean, it's so easy to drive into turn 1 and, you know, two guys get together in front of you and then there's nowhere to go and the guys behind you have nowhere to go. It's easy to drive in the corner underneath a guy and get free and have to chase the car up and hit them. It's easy for you to be the guy on the outside that's getting run into. So there's just, you know, this is really, really difficult racing, and it's, you know, the shorter the tracks, the more hostile it becomes because it's, you know, it has to. So, you know, just getting into a wreck or causing a wreck that you really didn't want to be involved in happens very easily here, more easily than most tracks we go to. So, you know, I don't know that, and pit, honestly, you can run well here and get on the wrong pit sequence and finish 18th. I mean, it's so hard to pass. You know, if you get in the back at the wrong time, you're done. So everything's got to work out. You got to have the cautions fall the right way. You got to run well. You got to stay out of trouble. You got to keep from causing the wreck. You got to not have mechanical problems. There's just a lot of stuff going on.
Okay, we'll go David Newton, Chris, Gary Graves.
Yeah, Jeff. If Kyle Busch doesn't win another race and kind of stays where he is right now on the points, will what he's accomplished this year with, 19 or 20, whatever wins between the 3 series be kind of lost in history?
It won't be to me. It may be to him. You know, their team, I think, would be, you know, really disappointed because certainly they came into this thing, you know, having very, very high hopes to win the championship. To me, they've had a phenomenal year, and Kyle has done a phenomenal job. It won't be lost on me, but it will probably be lost on them. I mean, they certainly haven't executed when they needed to execute, and you know, that's obvious. And I'm not being critical. It's just, you know, it is what it is. And you know, I wouldn't be the one to call it a collapse, but they certainly haven't. They weren't able to execute at this point in the postseason. They were able in the regular season.
We'll go Chris, Gary Graves.
They could win 5 in a row. Honestly, I mean, that team could go win 5 in a row. It would surprise. I think probably surprise no one. It's very hard to win 5 in a row, but that team could win 5 in a row.
We'll go Chris, Gary Graves, Jeff Gluck. Go.
When you think about 2006 and what happened in Martinsville and after that, and kind of seeing where you are now, do you kind of feel like this is a chance maybe for redemption or kind of to parallel those 2 years?
Well, we were in position to, the same way I said Kyle and those guys haven't executed in the postseason, we didn't execute that postseason. So, you know, we certainly want to be able to execute. We want to look back on the year and say, you know what, when we had an opportunity, we took advantage of it, and we didn't do that when we had our opportunity. So, you know, I don't look at it from a redemption standpoint, but I do look at it from a satisfaction standpoint. And, you know, it would certainly be great to be able to look back and say, hey, we put ourselves in position number one, but then after we put ourselves in position, we executed and got done what we needed to get done. And that's certainly, if you're in sports, that certainly has to be what you want to hear.
Gary Graves, and it looks like the last question will be from Jeff Gluck. Go ahead.
Yeah, Gary Graves, USA Today. Referring to your, I guess, the level of frustration at short tracks, how would you compare the level of frustration here compared to maybe Bristol? Hasn't seemed to be as much bitterness here in general.
Yeah, you know, to me, this track is much more like the new Bristol than it was the old Bristol. The new Bristol is still very aggressive and still, you know, real easy to cause a wreck, real easy to get into a wreck, but not at the same level that it was before, which, by the way, I think is a good thing. You get very frustrated because in Michigan, if you can't pass a guy, you can at least try to go around him on the outside. You can at least try something different. Here, if someone is a little slower than you are, it's very, very difficult to pass them. So every lap, every corner, that frustration level gets higher and higher and higher. And that's why we see a lot of wrecks, is because you know laps are clicking away. You know you got to get by that guy. You're just a touch quicker, but you can't pull it off. So the frustration level grows and grows and grows and grows, and then, you know, you lose patience. And that loss of patience is what eventually normally causes the wreck. So it can be a very frustrating racetrack, can be a very mentally taxing racetrack because it's a long race. Time-wise, I don't know how long it is compared to other races, but when you drive through these corners 500 times, it's a long race. I mean, your leg hurts from braking, your back hurts from braking, you use different muscles here than you use at other kind of racetracks, and it's mentally a grueling race. And then you add that to all the stress and the stuff going on with the chase, and then you add that to the guy in front of you won't cut you a slack. It gets frustrating. Man, we don't fight. You know, it's against the rules. I can't remember specifically an incident, but I do. When I think of this place, I know people are going to leave mad. You know, I know people are going to leave upset at each other, and it seems like there's always like a little carryover of frustration when this race is over to the next couple weeks. You know, there's always I wouldn't say a fight, but there's always certainly altercation between drivers.